Well, it seems that Alpha Omega Sin's outrage and anger over the Rayman Legends delay was somewhat justified. Now, fan anger, I don't think is. I'm sure this is a phenomenal, if not fantastic game. I've never cared for Rayman. I played it back in the day. It never really impressed me. The only thing I liked out of Rayman was the Raving Rabbit series, which I still think is absolutely awesome and genius, but I digress. That aside, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to say that if you love Rayman Legends that you're some sort of jerkwad or something like that. I mean, who am I to say something stupid like that? But apparently the devs themselves are actually really pissed off at Ubisoft or Ubisoft or however the fuck you want to pronounce it. I don't personally care. Rayman Legends lead designer poses with people protesting the game's 6-month delay. Rayman Legends, hoidily anticipated as one of the best third-party games coming to Wii U, was supposed to hit Nintendo consoles in 2 weeks, but Ubisoft announced a 6-month delay for the game last week so that work can be done for porting it to the Xbox 360 and the PS3. The Wii U owners have been up in arms ever since. They're mad, quite understandably, and so is Rayman's creator. Understandably? It's a fucking game. Like, if they released, say, a really shitty port like Traveler's Tale has been doing, or Telltale? I forget who does the Lego games offhand. You'll have to forgive me. I've been under duress. Anyways, um, they've been doing shitty ports to the Vita and even to some extent to the 3DS of their Lego games that they've been making, and they've been getting away with it. And nobody seems to give two shits. Not that I'm saying that they should necessarily, but we're talking quality control versus a game is delayed so that it can be ported out. I I just don't feel like in terms of release dates that anybody owes us anything in the gaming industry. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're trying to equate like some sort of game delay with something like quality control issues here. Now, granted, the creator has now stepped in and he's angry, he's upset. I think if anybody has a justified reason to be mad, it's the devs. It's like what Omega Sin was saying, that they worked so hard to push these games out. And if you know anything about bonuses, work days in a lot of the gaming industry, as well as all of the little financial mechanics that go into this, they're the people who have a right to be pissed. Us, the fans, not so much. I mean, on a superficial level, yeah, of course. And as purveyors of pop culture, once something becomes a piece of pop culture to some degree, yes, there's a piece of that, but I'm sorry, I don't agree with the fan outrage. There are people who are literally saying they will not buy the game now, no matter when it comes out, because of the delay. And then there's other side of the equation begging people not to boycott this game. There are people canceling their pre-orders and on and on and on, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous on the fan side of things. And flame me all you want, I don't give a shit. But yes, the devs, even the creator, they do have a reason to be pissed off. They do have a reason to be rather angry or perturbed about the situation here. Anyways, Eurogamer has pictures of Michael Ansel. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I'm not meaning to do that. The artist slash designer who's responsible for the limbless hero, standing in apparent solidarity with protesters outside of the Monte Pellier? I'm sure I got that wrong. Again, I'm sorry. Studio, where Raymen Legends is being made. The article claims that the men with Ansler are members of the studio, but it's unclear if that's the case. A poster with a picture of a crying Rayman pleading for the February 26th release of the Wii U version. The controversy around the delay got even hotter last week when an anonymous poster claimed to have worked on the game said that the dev team was also angry at the 6-month slip. If you're pissed, imagine how we feel. Now, I'm not going to finish the article. You can do that for yourself. But, you know, I would not doubt one bit that the dev team, that the dev team is pissed off. And again, they have every fucking right to be, because their pay at times, their bonuses, everything that they've been promised by Ubisoft has now been pushed back 6 months. I would be pretty fucking pissed off too, especially if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, which is something I know a lot about. I'm having to do a lot of that stuff, so there you go. Anyways, when has a company ever budged on anything, especially when it's fan outrage? Look at what fan outrage did to Devil May Cry, which I'm not saying that the fans were all right, but Ninja Theory writing, storyboarding, and animating a big giant digital fuck you to the fans of the original Devil May Cry because, oh my god, Dante doesn't have white hair. As ridiculous as that controversy was, look what it bore. It bore a studio that, instead of being the adults in the situation, decided to lower themselves down into the depths of the sludge and the pit and the slime of some of the worst of the fan groups out there and be just as bad as them. And they want to act as if they have any high road with which to stand on. Fuck you, Ninja Theory. Fuck you in the ass with a razor dildo, okay? Sorry, but just saying. Anyways, but this, I'm sorry, what is this going to do in the end? When has protesting done anything? How many people have been protesting for Half-Life Episode 3? Something I've told you guys that we just need to accept is not going to happen. Though my son keeps holding out hope, he keeps seeing some supposed leaked Half-Life Episode 4 animations, which I've seen myself, as well as there have been leaked Half-Life Episode 3 Half-Life Episode 3 concept art. But if Newell and his team don't have it in them, he's not going to force them to create an inferior game in Episode 3. If they can't feel like there's something that they want to create out of this, if they don't feel like they can make this work, they're not going to do it, no matter how much we protest. And so I said, either Newell is going to only release Episode 3 for Steambox and is prepping it as a launch title, which would be kind of a smart thing on his part to do, or he's never going to do it, because there's no signs at all that Gabe gives two shits at all about Half-Life 3. If anything, he's been trolling the communities, and wrongfully so, I might add, with shirts, logos, and everything to do with Episode 3 except for the actual fucking game, which again, I think is rather childish, and I'm supposed to look up to Newell? Fuck you! But I digress. Or what about Blizzard and StarCraft Ghost, which probably would have been one of the coolest games ever, especially because my manager friend at GameStop, he actually had a chance to play it. He knew they were likely never going to release it, and in fact he got himself into trouble because he locked himself in to the chair because they would have to unlock the cabinets, turn off the machine, so they couldn't just readily stop my friend from playing. He played the hell out of that demo, and he's as mad as I am, and he's actually had experience with StarCraft Ghost, that it's never going to be released. Blizzard keeps teasing us by releasing concept art, but reminding us it's never going to be released. With this, Ubisoft's going to do what Ubisoft's going to do, and at this point they seem to still get their money. You really want to hurt Ubisoft, you really want to show them that this delay is not to, this kind of aggression is not to stand, then stop buying everything Ubisoft at all. Then cancel all your other Ubisoft title pre-orders or anything that you were planning on buying, and show them that if they're going to play politics like this, if they're going to screw over the dev teams, if they're going to screw over the fan bases, they're going to pay for it. That, my friends, is effective protest. Something that we'll never see with Valve and Steam. We're never going to see a mass protest where everybody just stops playing Steam and does not buy anything more from Steam and tells Newell, until you give us episode 3, we're not going to play your games. We're not going to give you money. You know, that would be effective as well if everybody did it, because then that affects their bottom line and that kicks them in the butt and says, hey, we're the consumers. We're taking back our power. But, you know, I'm asking people who can't put down the Call of Duties or the Halos long enough to see what's going on in the gaming industry and actually try to do meaningful things against the industry to try to get them to either crash or change their politics. Either one would be preferable, because it would benefit us, the consumers, not them, the business, who already gets obscene amounts of money as it is, and then says that piracy is giving us poverty. Fuck you as well, gaming industry.